Hello everybody and welcome to Nemiga versus Moscow 5 Academy. We're jumping into the pistol round here on map number 1. Hopefully you're all doing well. I'm Mitch and alongside myself today will be Dinko. How you feeling about this one, my man?
Oh, I'm excited to get into this. Cool theme again. Here for WePlay. Fortunately here in the B stream, but we'll see what goes on. We've got Nemiga versus Moscow 5 Academy. Now this should be a matchup that Nemiga have in the bag pretty easily, and immediately we're gonna see early kills coming in for the Nemiga side. 2 players picked up now, 3 versus 5. Moscow 5 Academy pulling 1 kill back in. And it's starting to crumble here for the T side.
Yeah, definitely not off to the best of starts. That flank coming in from M5.A has just torn them apart, leaving it into this 2v5. And he's still lurking there, finding a lot of damage and then bailing out, pulling it over towards the T spawn. And he's just going to take the long rotate through connector, keeping Moscow 5 Academy guessing. They have no idea where M5.A's gone. He could be around any corner, ready to jump on them yet again. And while they look for him, that's just going to cost them a little bit of extra time. Moscow 5 not in the best of spots with 50 seconds left and no progress whatsoever.
Well, they're going to try and relocate back to B, but waiting for them is Lollipop. He'll find one headshot going back in for the second. And there it is, Nemiga. They keep 4 players alive. They find those initial kills as well. Moscow 5 Academy only managed the 1 trade back in towards the toilets. And, well, Nemiga will find the pistol round. And I think there's a clear difference between these teams, right? Coming into this, you see the likes of Moscow 5 Academy. They're a team that should not really be doing a whole lot against this Nemiga side. Nemiga should be coming into this feeling real hot. They're in the top 30 in HLTV. Moscow 5 Academy, I believe, are playing in ESEA Open. So we've got a real rough sort of comparison between these 2 teams here in this qualifier.
Yeah, it's kind of what you expect though, right? When teams qualify into these, they do come in as, well, not as favorites, I'll put it that way. For Nemiga, 4 SMGs, they're going hard for the moneymakers. And Moscow 5 have gone for the force buy. They'll manage to win this one. They'll be ahead by quite a bit. So far, JO's getting it cleanly, but eventually getting taken down. And that's a good early trade for Moscow 5. Fox looks to do a little bit more towards the spawn. He gets away with a free 1-for-1. Going down for another easy duel. And a bit of a shame for Moscow 5, really. It started out so well with good trades in connector, but it doesn't end that way.
Yeah, cleanup coming in for Nemiga. Good start for them. This is exactly what they would want coming into this matchup. Moscow 5 Academy, when you take a look at the roster, whatever they can do today, it's all about making damage and making a statement. I don't think their team will be expecting to make it to the main event, but as long as they can show up to an extent and put a good performance in, maybe a couple of players show up and show what they can do against some of these better teams, then that's the ultimate goal coming in for this matchup. So it's an unfortunate circumstance in terms of this round. They're going to be rinsed here, usually. Utility coming in early on is going to deal so much damage to the Moscow 5 Academy side. They'll start to send multiple players down in towards middle, and the M4 is going to handle that easily. The kills come in. They all line up 3-0 here for Nemiga. And now we're actually getting to the gun round. So this is where things should be getting exciting.
Well, you would hope so anyways. Moscow 5 going to show us what they're made of coming into this buy round. Luke's managed to get himself an AWP, but no utility around it. It doesn't matter, though. The rest of his team's making up for that gap. And they do have an advantage. You got to remember, like, the CT side coming in with 3 SMGs. This is a bonus round for Nemiga. If they win this, that's going to set things up pretty poorly. The boost to start things off as Luke goes up on top of the Tower of T's, but can't see anybody in towards B. Nemiga getting some early progress as well toward... Look at this A push. They're all the way up. In playground, Box has got the position, and Moscow 5's early game strategy was to find the pick on B with the boost. And instead, they've lost so much map control that Nemiga just snatched out of their hands.
Well, Nemiga coming into this one with full force down in towards the playground area. Spam coming through, trying to get rid of Toski. It's going to be Box that shuts him down with the MP9, rattling the shots away. Shuts it down with a man advantage picked up here for Nemiga. They've got so much control as well. Academy Raider trying to make his play. Not looking so good at the moment. Raider's going to finally shut down J up. Easy kill for him. Now 4 versus 4. They still have to try and get rid of Box. And look how much time that Moscow 5 Academy have to waste right now as they turn around. Box about to come through. Kill comes in from Dead Rock. It's just the one though. And the man advantage in play here for Moscow 5 Academy. Where are they going to go with it as the players start to sprint back towards spawn side?
The rotates as well, coming up towards the A-bomb site as you're seeing, was it MDS relocating, leaving Lollipop alone with an SMG long range on B. That's not ideal at all. And Moscow 5 should have an easy enough time getting out here. The steps are heard, the rotates on their way, but as Lollipop falls, the bomb plant should easily come down. And at this point, it could be worth considering the save. A 2v4. They haven't got a lot of progress in, and one player still has an SMG, but he's just running forward. All right.
Oh, indeed. And well, kill comes through in the end from Luke. Takes on SpeedAC. I did have a few issues getting into the server because we're on the latest patch, and obviously when we were casting Pro League last night, it was on the older patch. For some reason, it just wouldn't update for me, but we're finally in. I was looking at some skewed feed from Mitch's POV. That was a little bit hard to read, but we were into the server, so the action can unfold. Moscow 5 Academy, they've got the AWP in the hands of Luke, the 4 AK-47s. Over here for Nemiga, it's going to be the 4 M4s, the AWP for SpeedAC. And when Nemiga show up, SpeedAC can be a big part of that. So I'm excited to see what he can do here on Overpass. I think he's going to be a one to watch for this team with this open play. Moscow 5 Academy sending most of their forces out in towards middle early on. One up in towards the playground area already. And while the flash is going up, the toilets are going to be under a little bit of pressure. That smoke now fades away. And then behind it, a couple of players.
As the toilets flash going through, the swing afterwards, and the pressure on Box as he gets pushed out of the round. Nemiga falling behind yet again. This time they don't have the excuse of the previous where we come in and say, oh, well, they've got their SMGs. You know, they're just trying to do some damage. But no, this one's all about the win. And suffering the opening loss is definitely not helping that one out. The op of SpeedAC in position, up aggressively in toilets, and should he fall, the round could very well be over. He manages to connect the shot, but not for the kill. Moscow 5 Academy maintain their man advantage and now look to deal with SpeedAC. Dry peeking him, no utility used, and Raider good to take that frag.
Yeah, Raider able to find it now. Jo stepping in. Still not done here for Nemiga. Currently still can't pull this back, and MBS's position is going to be huge. Takes down Luke. Now 3 versus 2 as the kill from Level arrives to the server. That's MDS to Jo having to pull off a 2 versus 3 retake. Deadrock already passed through Monster, just holding on for this push through the tunnel, and MDS is going to go down. It's all on Jo. A 1 versus 3 for the man with the M4. And this looks like a round that Moscow 5 Academy will be very happy with. Finally getting another on the board here. And Amiga's money, well, it's starting to struggle.
I think that's pretty fair to say. Yeah, they're having a really rough time. The previous round was excusable. This one here, though, I mean, Moscow 5 got to be over the moon. They're coming up against a very weak buy in the next one. As Jo saves over the M4, that's going to be all they have to work with. Got to excuse us for just 2 seconds. We got a quick tech issue we got to fix. We'll be back in 2.
Window Boga, Erocola Tieke, Dumbia Luo, Agonoriti, Eronyara, Kela Eropi, Morocano, Amodi, and Wonder Tour. No technology, Odwong Mology, or geology, entoerology.
And welcome back, folks. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to fix some stuff to do with the server, but 3-2. We're rolling on through as you haven't missed much. We haven't missed anything. Nemiga down on just the pistols, as we said. JO's got the only rifle that they're going to be working with. And Moscow 5 Academy have managed to push out to the B site pretty much uncontested with an early A stack by Nemiga. The retake is probably not going to feature that M4. I imagine they'll try to save that through to the next one because they've not found any early duels. And the pistols, at the moment, seem to just be playing for exits.
Well, utility being used up here on the B-bomb site from Moscow 5 Academy, just trying to keep Nemiga at bay. And yeah, like you said, these pistols just sitting back for exit frags. They'll be looking to run down the B-bomb site. They're going to send multiple players in. 1 kill from Mariedo. Level to find one as well. And it's a cleanup kill here from Moscow 5 Academy. They only lose the 1 player. and they'll be happy about this. They're winning the important rounds, and that's all that matters as we get into this crucial time for Moscow 5 Academy. Will they be able to take down the buy from Nemiga? It's coming right up. It's Speedak on the AWP. The M4 is available. Moscow 5 Academy have been able to compete early into this game, so I wanted to see if that can continue or if it's just a flash in the pan. Nemiga, it is early in the day here for us in over in the Isles of Ireland, and it's starting to get a bit of an issue for us, Mitch, because we're probably not used to getting up at this time, but it is a little bit later over in Eastern Europe, 2 hours ahead, so it's not as early in the day, but still probably quite early for these players. As they look to try and get into things, Lollipop and MDS taking 2 kills down, Lollipop with another, and it's just a beast shutdown.
Yeah, absolutely tearing them apart this time. Moscow 5 going in for the very CIS strategy of Rush B. But sadly, it's having a tragic end. I mean, all too ready for it. Those are the kind of rounds you can try to pull out every now and then, but I don't think we'll see that repeated. Lollipop staying in the same position as well is good for another, with Dursky coming around the corner and taking a few bullets. Luke's left alone, and I don't think this is going to be the return of AWPAs.
I thought we were going to go with some sort of Star Wars pun there, Mitch.
It was starting like that.
It definitely did start like that. Well, just Luke sitting back now. I think when you rush B, I mean, I like the call, I like the idea, and I understand the idea behind it. You know, you come into the first gun round, you try and increase that pace a little bit, try and catch Nemiga off. The issue is Nemiga were completely ready for it, and Lollipop shuts down 3 players, and as soon as you lose those with no trades, well, you're never really gonna win a B rush if you can't effectively trade. So, a little bit unfortunate here. Moscow 5 Academy, an important round for them, but nonetheless, they will have a lot of money moving into this next one. So, it's actually a really good scenario for Nemiga to be in because, you know, they lose this round, then obviously money's an issue. But also, if they win the round and lose multiple players, then again, money is an issue. So they keep 5 players, that's exactly what they needed to do. And they keep 5 players alive, and now this CT economy can start to recover it. Moscow 5 Academy coming right back into things. Like I said, they have plenty of cash so they can get a full buy again.
Reaping the rewards of the previous rounds there, Moscow 5 look to move towards B early on for the short control. They are staggering it a little bit, and the flash even not coming over just yet. They're going to dry peek through. That works out for them. Luckily, Nemiga haven't pushed up. That was a risk. And talking of risks, Lollipop, well, not a lot he could have done, really. He just walked past the smoke and a bullet hit him.
Yeah, that's just one of those scenarios, right? Lollipop trying to cross, think he's safe in behind the smokes, and then just a random spray catches his head, and unfortunate, man advantage opened up, and look at the effect that it has, right? Lollipop was the only player anywhere near this B bomb site from Nemiga, and Lollipop gone immediately. Moscow 5 Academy win the round, because Nemiga aren't in an economic position where they can afford to go for this retake, and so it has to be the immediate save call. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but the worst case scenario was exactly what just played out. You know, Lollipop goes down without a single kill, gets shut down through the smoke, so there's nothing he can even really do about it, so he can't even get a trade or an early pick, so really unfortunate stuff there. And at the moment, Moscow 5 Academy impressing me, to be honest. I thought we were coming into this matchup today, Nemiga were gonna have an easy time with things. But then again, when are we ever gonna see a game like that in the CIS region? It's just Counter-Strike being played across the day where everybody's gonna be able to beat everybody. We've seen that in ESL-1 Road to Rio, the last RMR event not too long ago, where the CIS region, everybody could beat everybody on a given day, right? We've seen Navi fall to so many teams in that tournament. I think Espada played them close. They lost to Hard Legion. Virtus Pro beat them. I mean, Navi clearly should be head and shoulders above every single team in this competition, but you never really know with this team in the CIS region itself. I think on the final day of the groups that over in CIS, I remember casting it, trying to work out all the possible scenarios, because depending on who won what game, it could have been the team that comes top has actually ended up last. So it's kind of strange how it happened.
It was a stage where they were exactly tied up. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Every team, literally, it was like 2 teams there were confirmed to be out, like Navi, which was one of them, but the rest, they were all on the same points, right? And that's kind of crazy to think that just one win or one loss would have been the difference between the top spot and the last spot. So strange stuff, and I think the Sky S Ridge is probably going to be quite similar here in this WePlay Clutch Island.
That's the way it always plays out. Very scrappy matchups for Nemiga. They're definitely in a scrappy world. Box has pushed him into playground yet again. He's going to face contact if they come around the corners, and one frag found straight on through the wood. He's looking for a little bit more. It's going to be rough at this point. They've already pushed out around the left. It looks like we've lost X-Ray. I think we've just had an observer join us, Dinko. So we're going to have to... I didn't know this was happening. I'm thankful, but it means we've got extra commands to put in a minute. We got our X-Ray back.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to have to figure out. I have a pin somewhere, so I will actually have that command available for you, Mitch, so you don't have to do anything. I'll get that for you. I want Dursky shuts down Lollipop. 2 versus 2 though, 20 seconds left in this clock. Dursky starting to make his way into the B-bomb site. Smoke goes down into the middle of the site, but Jo around the corner. The lack of X-ray actually increasing the tension here, and Jo just swings for the double kill. Luke and Dursky both go down.
So Moscow 5 Academy once again forced to buy up after losing a round, but once again having plenty of cash to do so. Been a fairly nice game for them so far. They're almost tying up the T side. They can come into every single round they lose buying up, and Nemiga are not making it easy for themselves. We'll say that for sure. Nade thrown out there by Speedak connected a little bit of damage to Playground as a much more passive approach comes through for Nemiga this time. One thing I will say for them is they have a very good read on when to push up on A and when to just concede that control. Every time Moscow 5 Academy play early and don't push up towards Playground or mid, Nemiga take that control instead.
Well, spray from MDS, getting rid of level. The 2-man advantage picked up here for Nemiga. Moscow 5 Academy, I know it's early days, but they have to make sure that they don't fall out of this. You can compete early on into the game, you have that good mindset coming in, you win a couple of rounds here and there, but you can very easily fall behind once Nemiga start building up that success. Well, Luke in behind the rock, Box swinging out, it's going to be Box that takes down Luke, and a man advantage now, just 5. So Nemiga clear it up, an easy round, they get that initial kill, and then they just find every other frag after that, so absolutely nothing Moscow 5 Academy could have done.
They're going in for the force buy here. I'm not terribly against it. I mean, Moscow 5 still end up in a position where they've got rifles. They've got 2 deagles only. But the AWP is supposed to kind of bridge that gap. And so we'll see what Luke can do with it. Oh, a nade going to land right on his noggin, putting him to 50 HP. And that's a pretty tough loss to take straight off the bat. Nemiga just take it nice and slow, not knowing the damage that they've done, but they'll be happy whenever they do take a duel onto Luke. And again, it comes down to the point I was making earlier about Nemiga. They know when to push and when not to. In a round like this, where they're against those some weaker weapons, they're not making any progress past toilets. Just holding the line. With 3 players around this area, it should do fairly well for them. When Moscow 5 decide to push up on long, they've got 3 players creeping forward, and JO's going to take first contact, but Box can support him as well, so this should be a fight that they can recover from. That flash is so good though.
It is indeed, and Dursky and Dead Rock suddenly find 2 kills between them, and suddenly it's Moscow 5 Academy with the early advantages. Now Speedak in towards the A-bomb site, it's going to peek out in towards long, but it's Luke that'll find the kill. Speedak going down, and absolutely nothing coming in here from Nemiga. This is a round that Nemiga should have had in the bag easily. MDS can still win this though. 20 seconds. Look at the position he's got. He could deny the bomb plant. He could deny everything here from Moscow 5 Academy. They have to check his spot. That's the bomb on the floor. And well, Lollipop gets cleared as well. Luckily, Moscow 5 Academy make it happen. And a pretty convincing round win nonetheless. I mean, they only lose the 1 player. And that's kind of strange to see.
Just bear with us for 2 seconds while we fix one final tech issue, and then we'll be good to roll, and X-Ray shall return. Oh wait, it's already back. Came on by itself. How'd that happen?
Maybe the observer left or something. I don't know.
Okay, well look, we don't need to even go to pause then. We're good.
I was looking at your POV and I did see extra. I was a little bit confused, but
I was just presuming it was still off at that point.
yeah,
But
yeah,
fair enough.
just randomly appeared. And while Speedak taking down Luke to open things up, but the trade is in immediately.
Yeah, good 1-for-1s from Moscow 5 Academy as they look to move forward and get very advanced toilets control for what is 30 seconds into the round. And Nemiga really left scratching their heads. Because at this point they have no idea exactly where Moscow 5 are going, what they're doing with the advantage that they've already managed to muster. But Box spots one out on short and manages to find that kill. The toilets push is on its way from Moscow 5 Academy. And Box swings through, making up for his whiff in the previous round, pulling them way ahead, but eventually going down. The aggression never really let up, but they did manage to drop the bomb in the meantime.
"45 seconds. Level coming out in towards long. It's going to be Jo trying to hold on. It's Level will find the kill. Jo goes down, and now the push can't come through from Moscow 5 Academy, but MDS's position, surely it's good for one kill, but they pushed up on the right side. The smoke covers them off, and there's the kill for Level that puts the round into a winnable position. Almost a favorable position here from Moscow 5 Academy. Lollipop does not have a defuse kit. He hasn't got any utility in this crossfire. This is going to be difficult to deal with. As soon as he takes a fight with one player, the other will peek. And while Lollipop's going to find the low HP player inside the site, but not expecting Deadrock to be up on top of Optimus. Goes to pick up the AK, and he will fall very quickly. 6-6 hit. Moscow 5 Academy competing consistently now in these gun rounds, and they've broken down the economy of Nemiga yet again. They're down to the pistols. Moscow 5 Academy probably in a situation where they're going to be taking the lead here, so not exactly the performance I was expecting come into, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Currently Deadrock 12-7, looking good, and well, this is not exactly the start Nemiga would be looking for coming into this tournament.
Not at all, Dinko. We mentioned coming into this how Nemiga should take this one fairly easily. The skill disparity between the teams should, in theory, be significant enough that it's an easy series. Granted, this is Moscow 5 Academy's pick, but even then, not a terrible map for Nemiga, not one that I would expect them to be struggling so much up against this team. Moscow 5 get B for free as Nemiga focused very much towards the A site, and I can't help but wonder if Moscow 5, especially because this is going to be such an important series, did some research, because every time Nemiga have been on an eco, and usually on overpass, they're stacking them towards that A site, pushing into toilets and up through middle. And Moscow 5 have gone B every time they're up against an eco.
Well, Moscow 5 doing a good job at winning these eco rounds, or anti-eco rounds. It's going to be Luke, takes down Box. Label the next player ready for MDS as well. It's just Speedak under pressure, and he's going to be shut down. Not a single player falling here from Moscow 5 Academy. They get the money built up, they get the rounds won. And Nemiga struggling, but here comes a buy again. They're not going to get a real solid buy, though. They're going to certainly have some weaknesses in terms of what Speedak's going to be able to pick up. He's not going to have the AWP. And with T-side timeout coming through, Moscow 5 Academy with the AWP for Luke, the AK-47s for everybody else, and plenty of utility here as well, Mitch. Kind of feels weird doing a WePlay event and not seeing anything crazy yet. We'll bring some craziness a little bit later on.
Oh yeah.
As much as we can do, unfortunately, for now.
Yeah, with the travel restrictions and all that, we can't do a whole bunch.
I mean, Vendetta and Hawkeye certainly had an excursion yesterday. They had some travel bonanzas, and I'm sure they'll be talking about that in the main broadcast. I won't spoil anything, but certainly a fun one. Thank God. I was kind of, you know, so you always actually want to be at the LAN event, but then I do really want to be doing what they had to do. Probably not. So I don't know. It's going to be Moscow 5 Academy coming down in towards middle. Speedak in the bathrooms. Has a good angle. His radar now crosses. Really looking for the kill, and he will find Speedak. Now they can push forward. An advantage in play here for Moscow 5 Academy, but Box could get in from behind.
He does indeed, catching himself the one kill there onto Laval, and really just harassing this T side. He stays around a little bit too long, though. Getting taken down in that fight versus Dursky, a very awkward one at that, and the other players locked out in the spawn, kept back by the smokes and Molotovs. Jo, as soon as he doesn't win that, I think they probably just go in for a save at this point, but sticking around, Nemiga don't want to concede this. They won't have money for the next round. The fights almost go their way, but Deadrock keeps on fragging in a 1v3 now. Exactly what they need to win. This is not ideal. Things have completely fallen apart for Nemiga there. With MDS all by his lonesome, he saves over the M4, but even at that, the impact for the next round is pretty huge with what Moscow 5 Academy have been able to do. They've kept the money low for the CT side. Just absolutely crushed Nemiga in this first half.
Yeah, this is nuts coming in from them. Was definitely not expecting this kind of performance coming out of Moscow 5 Academy. Nemiga look rough, they look off individually. Perhaps they'll warm up into the series, I think that's certainly going to be a case, but right now it's Moscow Academy that look crisper, ready to go in this tournament. First game of the day, first half of the day, it's early. Maybe Nemiga feeling a little bit off. Boost coming in from Moscow 5 Academy, this could work out.
The second time they've gone for this. Last time Nemiga pushed all the way up into playground and had a really nice setup, although they didn't win the round in the end.
They've almost done that again. They've got a player all the way up at a party right now. Hasn't gone all the way to playground, but still quite a bit of map control. And a lot of information being picked up.
They've got to play off that in a little while as Moscow 5 look to push into B. 3 players stacked up. They've got a quick enough rotate down through connector if they can delay them a little bit, and there's not a lot of utility in play though.
Well, Lavel and Luke finding the opening kills. Deadrock coming in as well. It's Boxers, Speedak, the last two remaining players here. Nemiga looking to see what they can do. You've got Raider off in towards short, but immediately, as soon as you don't win any of those aim battles, the round's done. Moscow 5 Academy just walk into B with absolutely no resistance whatsoever. Just one kill coming in as Lollipop. The rest not doing anything. In our box, they know exactly where he is. It's going to be an easy kill for Raider. 9-6 at the half. Moscow 5 Academy, for lack of a better word, absolutely dominating Nemiga right now. This is unbelievable. 16-7 on Deadrock. You've got here Lavel, 12-9 right now. The rest of the team not really having to do a whole lot because their two teammates at the top just killing everyone. But Moscow 5 Academy leading the way by 3, coming in from the T side of Overpass.
Oh, they've got to be over the moon with that, but the problem is, right, if you've got one or two players that are stepping it up and bringing it across the line, well, when you move to the CT side, that kind of setup won't work for you quite as well. What I will say, though, is Moscow 5 constantly ran into situations where Nemiga had great map control, fantastic early information, the advantages in manpower, flanks, but they just overcame it every single time. And they've by far looked like the better team at the moment. I wouldn't put this down, oh, CIS Counter-Strike. There was no, oh, they won some Deagle rounds and all this sort of stuff. I mean, for God's sake, one of the rounds they lost was just a B rush, where they tried to pull that out of the bag, just disrespecting Nemiga within the first 4 or 5 rounds. Like, altogether, that was incredibly impressive as a T side on their map pick, and it's what we needed to see from Moscow 5 Academy if we were to have faith in their ability to pull this off and make it to the main event.
Maybe not go that far just yet, but Speedak scouts in towards long. Had to go around the corner. Speedak looking for the shots. He will do a little bit of damage on towards Raider, but he gets back. Also desperately needed pistol round coming in from Nemiga, but it's not going to be happening so far. Look with a double kill. Lollipop goes down alongside MDS. Look with another frag. This is brilliant stuff from Luke in the pistol round, absolutely shutting Nemiga out of this. Speedak and Box looking for the recovery. Certainly is not going to be an easy task whatsoever, and he is going to go down. It's Speedak that hits the dust, and Lava with a flank shuts down Box. Only one player going down here for the Moscow 5 Academy, and they win the pistol. They will continue their lead into the second half, and Nemiga just getting absolutely wrecked.
And that's
Luke,
a pretty...
I believe Luke played for one of the teams with Hooch, I think. I remember Luke being on one of these sort of... I can't remember which was that. What was that team that Hooch played with? It was in the Gauntlet tournaments. It's a lot of them. EPG it was called. I believe it was called EPG, and they had the Alper, Elian as well. So that team had a few younger players in there. I think Luke might have actually been on that roster. So he's definitely a pretty solid player. And he's continuing to show that as Box goes down early into the round.
Well, there's been a couple of kills going Moscow 5 Academy's way, bring them that victory, and they only lose one player. Pretty clean. And look at Luke there. So he used to play for Hollywood. That's where I know him from. For quite a bit. You can see him in some of those lower tier tournaments.
Yeah, that'd probably be it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he played with Hooch, but probably played against him a couple times. But so far for Moscow 5 Academy, things have been pretty easy on the CT side. They win their pistol, up against an eco. Now here's where things get difficult. Nemiga come in with a full buy. Their utility's very light. I mean, we're not even 30 seconds into the round, and they've got 3 smokes left, 2 mollies and a nade. That's it. No flashes whatsoever. These duels are going to have to be dry. They'll determine how things go. Nice little nade flicked over. Lollipop down to 14 health with the right-click grenade. That's got to hurt. Oh, and then taken down by a wallbang. Insult to injury. A 4-man stack on B as well from Moscow 5 Academy. As Nemiga go in for these dry peaks. They're losing all of the duels.
Well, team advantage in play for Moscow 5 Academy looking good. And while 50 seconds in play, Nemiga not really in a position to change that yet. Now I've got a chance up towards short. Speed Act going to be leading the way up this side. In fact, they're actually going to pull players back and go outside of the B bomb site. Looking for the feet here. It's Laval that's going to go down. Jo takes him away. Now man advantage in play for Moscow 5 Academy. MDS finding one back, but again it's Dead Rock. He's absolutely huge for them. No pun intended, he is indeed the rock for this side. He's going to go forward for another kill. Shuts down the bomb. It's all on Speed Act. A 1 versus 2. And while Speed Act is going to be looking for this clutch, he'll look down in towards water. There's a player up in heaven as well he's got to deal with. And Dead Rock shuts him away as well. A huge hold. 3 kills collected on this B-bomb site. And a 12th round for Moscow 5 Academy. Nemiga are back to yet another eco round here. It's just going to be a couple of deagles. Moscow 5 Academy should be taking 13.
Moscow 5 have the best reads on the T side of where Nemiga are. They're playing the ecos perfectly. They had the round where they spammed a player through the smoke and opened up B, and when he was the only one, forcing an immediate save. Now on the CT side, heavy stacking the B bomb site, and Nemiga just walk right on into those 4 players, one after another, losing Lollipop to nades and wall bangs, Box to just a heads up aim duel on the site. Raider, he somehow gets away with that frag, and although he'll be traded out afterwards, he very nearly went down, initially putting it into a 5v4. As Nemiga managed to recover an M4, they've also bought armor up on every player, so that M4 is very usable for them. You can see the slow of pace. They have 1 smoke and 1 Molotov left. An opening pick towards the A site and haven't shown any presence afterwards. Moscow 5 anchored down in their 2-2 setup. And being as the rest of the players have pistols, it looks like they're angling to move towards that B bomb site.
Well, outside of B, at the ready to go, Nemiga stacking with their forces, strength in numbers, mentality, but Moscow 5 Academy currently have a good setup to deal with this. As they go forward, Dursky looking to hold on as the push comes in. It's Laval with 1. Jo goes down. MDS able to find a headshot as well, but it's Dursky who replies with a headshot of his own. Back in short, goes back for more. Huge lineup, 3 kills collected, and a 13th round here for Moscow 5 Academy. Nemiga, well, we take a look at what they've got. It's going to be the rifles coming out finally. The AWP can get into the hands of Speed Act, but they have to turn it around here, Mitch. They lose this round and probably looking at a Moscow 5 Academy win.
It's a strange reality we're in, Dinko, where that is incredibly true.
Yeah. Very strange.
I mean, it's been an insane streak of rounds from Moscow 5 Academy. They've looked so convincing this whole time, and 100% looking like the better team. The boost comes in. Raider not getting the opportunity, though. Someone decided better of it, and Nemiga shift on out through Monster right as Moscow 5 Academy take water control. They pick up the bomb and move to site. They can lock the CTs out of this site without even finding a kill.
Well, it's going to be Box taking down Dursky. A second kill as well from Box. He's Dead Rock, Luke, and Raider into a 3 versus 5. Utility going up in towards the bomb site. Lollipop able to find one kill as Luke comes in as well. Lollipop hits the deck and now it's Dead Rock and Luke getting locked out of this round. That's exactly what Nemiga needed. They come in, they find that initial kill, they find the follow-ups, lock Moscow 5 Academy out of it. Nemiga, well, they have an opportunity to potentially get back into this, but they can't hemorrhage too many more players here. They don't have too much money left in the bank. Any player they drop is a great situation for Moscow 5 Academy. It'll be 13-7.
Comes off the back of Box's great openings. I mean, that double kill on the short. But the issue for me is that Box has been very on and off, and to an insane degree. And we see him getting flanks where he fails to grab a kill on a player that was completely unaware he was there. And then later on comes in with shots like that. That level of inconsistency is always going to be punished by a team like Moscow 5. And the thing is, coming in, I expected Moscow to be a team that had good aim. You know, the typical lower tier CIS. They've got good aim, they can wreck you with deagles, but they've no idea what to do when it comes to tactics. And instead, we're getting this well-drilled machine. I mean, I'm not seeing a problem. They're trading out very well, their spacing is good, they seem to have some pretty tight strategies over on their terror side. I'm loving it.
Yeah, they're playing good Counter-Strike, good fundamentals, very important. I'm going to see whether or not they have any tempered aggression here. Playing in front of the smoke. This could catch MBS off, but it's one and a second kill as well. And they try something different in this kind of round, and does have a little bit of risk involved with it, but the reward could have been huge. Unfortunately, MDS does a really good job at just sort of being aware of that possibility. Takes both of those players in the connector down, and now the push can come through from Nemiga in towards this B-bomb site. Laval has the smoke at the ready, but he's going to pull the deagle. Smoke goes up. Gonna re-smoke off Monster, but I think they're already beyond it. Now they are. J up comes around the corner. The deagle under pressure. Laval can't do anything, but it's Dursky now looking to do the damage. He's found one, but goes down after. And it's all on to Luke on the other end of the map, saving the op into this next. And Nemiga yet again success in that B-bomb side with only taking one death.
The kind of round that they need, considering they're behind by so much. But Moscow 5 did come in with some weaker weapons, and the early play in towards connector, again a risk that what we won't see being taken again for a while at least. MDS did so well in the position that he ended up in. He could see the player on the right, find the frag, and isolate those duels one at a time. It's the most important part of that. The AWP not getting any action that round as well, which was obviously the strongest weapon Moscow 5 had, and one of three that you really expect to come out with heavy duels. Coming into this round, you don't expect much. The CT should take a nice light buy and just allow Luke to look for frags and save over that AWP, unless he manages to somehow end up massively ahead in the round. So more than likely this will be 9 for Nemiga, and at that point, if they win the next buy round, they're very much back in the game.
Well, currently Luke searching for that opening kill. He's going to get the opportunity. Lollipop's going to go down. Box able to reply as Luke is picked off. Now it's going to be Moscow 5 Academy. The early loss, but they do get a trade back in. I mean, it's important that they're trying to do as much damage as possible within these rounds. At the minute, Nemiga, on the most part, are building up quite a bit of cash because they haven't really taken too many casualties in these last couple of rounds. And that's going to allow them to be able to compete for the next few as well. So, Moscow 5 Academy, when they finally get that buy back in, they're still going to have the issue that Nemiga are going to have so much to play with for a lot of rounds. So Moscow 5 Academy are in a position where they almost have to win, but not only do they have to win the round, but they have to keep as many players alive as possible to be able to recover economically.
Yeah, that lead that they have only gives them a certain amount of a grace period, and I think the upcoming round is pretty much where that ends. These players saving over and looking for exits, but no squishy T's moving towards them as time runs out. The The AWP, unrecoverable, unfortunately. Really just avoid giving Nemiga any extra frags, and whatever armor they had is going to be carried forward. Well, they didn't have any, did they? No, I don't think they did. So that, like, I guess just keeping Nemiga's money that little bit lower. We come into this round now, number 23. Full buy for Moscow 5. Utility is still light. That is one region in which they're lacking, but opening op shots, they're not. As Box goes down to 30 health. Luke getting the impact with the bought up AWP, showing that it was worth the investment. But just about missing the frag. He gets another opportunity. The timing's a little bit off. The flash over misses. And he realizes with that he just doesn't have the opportunity to peek. Falling back to the A site. And they concede toilets control as well. But to try and swap up and allow Raider close long. He's going to be covered for a second. And he's going to make it into position now. And just play anti-flash for Luke, who can spot them coming around the corner, jumping and boosting up above. That's a nice setup that I don't think Nemiga will expect, considering they saw that up and pushed him off the angle so early on, but managed to close the distance as well quite quickly.
Oh, nice kill from M5.A. Gets rid of Raider. Now we're into a man advantage for Nemiga. Dursky, Deadrock, Lavel, and Luke. Well, a 4 versus 5. A huge comeback and a turnaround needed in this round for Moscow 5 Academy. I did mention a little bit earlier on that Nemiga probably would warm up into this series, and they're starting to look like they might just do that up until this point. Lavel shuts down 2 as they come through the connector right back into even odds. Lollipop with a headshot keeps his team within the round, and now they push forward. Deadrock has been absolutely brilliant for them on this B-bomb site. Doesn't even need to do anything just yet, and eventually he will. JL goes down as just Box last alive, and he's going to flee the scene. Not enough time to get involved. A brilliant round coming in again here. Just individuals showing up from Moscow 5 Academy. A few rounds being lost, yes, but Lavel gets those 2 connector players. As soon as that happens, it weakens the attack of Nemiga. The shutdown was available with Luke, and the perfect setup with him and Deadrock on that bomb site. And Deadrock is currently 24-8 right now, so he's the player to watch in this team for the moment.
You know, you look at these guys. M5, obviously just recently picked up by this org. Formerly Hollywood. Even just last week. Or a little bit before. Coming through the open qualifiers, they did really well when it came to this map. Played it twice. Won it both times, 16-12, 16-7. But even despite that, you know, my problem with this series isn't necessarily the decider, Mirage. They should be able to turn up. It's when it comes to the next map, Nuke. Nemiga picked it. They played a lot. Moscow 5 haven't got a single map on their history for this. If you're coming into Nuke and you don't know how to play it, you're not used to it as a team, versus a team that loves it, well, you're going to struggle. That's for sure. This round win is essential for me to believe in Moscow 5's ability to win this best of 3. This round win, I mean the map win. And it starts with this round. They can find this there, just one away, guaranteeing themselves an overtime, and although Nemiga would still be able to get a buyout in the next, be a nice position to play from. We've had toilets control for Nemiga for this whole round as they push up towards the long side. The Moscow 5 Academy are hearing some steps. The op now spotting them out on long, ready on the angle to find the players coming out. He's spotted though, and needs to be a little bit careful. Falls back after the molly. But with 2 players down on short, that's not a setup Nemiga will be ready for.
Well, MDS started charge forward. Lavel has a good position down from middle. Luke gets 1 kill back in, and Luke is going to do a little bit more. JL finally gets rid of him. It's just Lollipop. Kills come in from Moscow 5 Academy, 15-9. 1 round away from victory here at Overpass, and again, a scenario that just so strange to me right now. Nemiga are in the top 30 in HLTV, a team that have been looking good even in the last RMR event, and now they're playing a close qualifier against Moscow 5 Academy, a team that shouldn't really look like this, and well, it's just impressive. I'm enjoying this from Moscow 5 Academy. I think this is exciting stuff, and if they can keep this up across the next map, well, who knows where this might go. I was predicting a quick 2-0 for this matchup for Nemiga, but clearly not.
That doesn't seem to be on the cards right now, Dinko. That's for sure. Moscow 5 Academy, though, lose the opening duel, and Nemiga might have a little bit of a better chance. Certainly not going to be quick either way, because Nemiga would need to take this to overtime, and a good shot by Laval as the spray down works out. But Box picks off another, and with Laval on 19 health, this round should be going by the wayside. They weren't ready for that peek out, though. And at least managing to grab one on 19 health, that's probably the best you could have hoped for.
Well, it's looking like we are going to have a situation here where it could go either way in this round. It's going to be Dead Rock again, who's just been an absolute animal here in this B-bomb site, looking to try and end the round here, looking to try and end the game, but he's going to go down. A good kill from Lollipop, often seen as the star for this Nemiga side, looking to keep his team alive on overpass. Bomb will get planted, looking for the clutch. He looks down in towards the bomb site, eyes trained on the default position. But with Nemiga's positions, the two rifles still alive, the crossfire established, and the AWP from Luke, it's probably not going to go too well here for him.
Yeah, this shouldn't really be their round, and Moscow 5 not having a lot of cash will be forced to save coming into the next. I'd like to see Luke survive this with the AWP, but the position he's in doesn't allow him to fall back easily. He's hearing the steps in water, heard one on short as well, so he knows he can cross back to CT, but gotta get it running. Saving
this AWP is important, because it actually gives them a bit of a chance to win this next round. I'll be interested to see what they decide to go for, whether it's the force buy or the eco, because it would be kind of a risky decision to go for the force buy, but you could definitely get behind it. And there's going to be a purchase coming in from Raider. Dursky's also invested, so yeah, it's going to be the force buy around this AWP, and I'm not the worst. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not really its biggest hater either. I think you can definitely understand why they want to go for this. You carry over the AWP, they have a couple of deagles, have some incredible players in this team. We'll see if they can roll into a bit of success and take this over the line.
I think
if not, well, they still have time to recover.
At the end of the day, this is CIS Counter-Strike, so any buy where you can get deagles out is a good buy in my books.
Exactly right.
I've learned to stop criticizing it when someone that buys deagles 3 times in a row. Oh, not the way you want to start it though. Raider trapped in the corner. MDS knows there was going to be a player above covering him, but can't get out. The Molotov fully extends, blocks him off, and then Nemiga lose the opening duel despite having a great chance in connector and even get an AK recovered. What is that? The start for Moscow 5 Academy is stellar.
Well, this is exactly the start you need coming into a round like this. So, a minute left on the clock. What can they hope to do here? Nemiga, life on overpass might just come to an end. Raider's position. Speedak aware of the possibility, but Raider making the smart play. The timing is almost perfect. Speedak falling away from the position. Raider not spotted. It couldn't get better here for Raider. It could not be better, but Speedak turns around. He's going to find Raider, takes him down, Box as well with a kill, and suddenly Nemiga flip it on its head. All the kills coming their way. Laval gets one, but it's a cleanup in the end here for Nemiga. 3 players stay alive. Speedak finding that kill towards the back lines was just so important. Raider looked like he had the perfect timing. Everything was going his way that. And then Speedak decides to turn around and just be incredible. So, force buy doesn't pay off. We're going to see an eco come up here for Moscow 5 Academy. We're looking at 12 rounds posted for Nemiga. Next round, we're not even going to see the best of buys from Moscow 5 Academy, so I wouldn't be against a half buy in this next round coming up. So, probably a few more rounds collected here for Nemiga, and who knows where that might go. Overtime's a real possibility here in map number 1.
It would be one hell of a way to start off.
A 4BO3 day with overtime start. That's exactly what you want to see.
Exactly. Perfection. Sprays are perfect. Everything's going well, just as expected. Nemiga walking out with the round win, unless Deadrock's got a USB ace clutch up his sleeve. And with 35 health, I don't think so. Like you said, Dinka, you wouldn't mind the half investment coming into the next one. Couple pistols, as always. CIS Counter-Strike, a buy with deagles. Might as well be a full buy. But no, they're deciding let's go all the way. Diving head first in. There's not going to be an op for Luke to play with, so he's going to be understandably inconsolable without his big green friend. Looks like he's staying back at his swamp. He has to go to the M4 instead. A1S of all weapons. 2 in play for the CT side. Now, as Nemiga rock on into this, they need 3. But this round win here pushes Moscow 5 back down to an eco. So really, there's only 2 buy rounds standing between Nemiga and an overtime. Going to be a rush out towards B, and Nemiga making their way down there quite quickly. The opening duel goes their way as well, with Dursky falling. And now Moscow 5 have to try to get back in. Utility is fairly low. Great nade, though, down to Monster. Lavel stands in that molly for way too long, losing 50 HP. And Nemiga just fall right back. Concede all the control they just had in Monster. And look instead to play this round nice and slow with a minute left on the clock and a man advantage.
Nemiga going to be sending players out towards top middle. Lots going this way. Through the playground. Not long. 45 seconds left now as they walk forward. Lavel. And then towards the tunnel. Lollipop holding the angle, looking for the kill. Nice shot. Nemiga dominating in this round, and this is not what M5 would have liked. This is starting to look a little scary now for them. Deadrock, he's going to be nuclear again. 26 kills to his name, but this could be the time to shine. He's going to check to the right side, but he's going to just burn and drop. JO Box finding all of the kills, and now it's all on to Raider. A 1 versus 4 retake that's just impossible with the lack of kit, lack of utility. This just won't be happening for him. And so he's going to flee the scene, get back down in towards heaven, and the round will be won here by Nemiga, and again in convincing fashion. So, I don't know. I'm starting to see a world in which we do see overtime here.
Definitely a possibility, Dinko. Not what you want on a 4 best-of-3 day, like you're saying. It is a long one for us.
It is indeed. I
12
mean, obviously
hours.
one as good Counter-Strike as you can get, but you know, it's not good for the schedule. For sure.
That's it. It's like we want to see some good games, but yeah, if you guys can do it within 30 rounds, that would be just great. It'd be just fantastic.
At least for the start of the day, you know, that'd be kind of nice. Make sure everything kind of goes smoothly. But
basically, what you're asking for is a nap in between series. I'm on to you.
that's exactly what it is, Mitch. Which is exactly what it is. Well, 15-13. You know, getting into the last few stages of this map, at least in regulation, and it's going to be the Deagles in play for Moscow 5 Academy. I'm actually kind of surprised they're waking up today, Mitch, of like dying of allergies. That's actually kind of a nice occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's for the Clutch Island. I can't be sneezing all day, so good. It's a good day here.
Yeah, a lot of people have been struggling recently. Surprisingly, as well, I've been okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Well, just Eagles now from Moscow 5 Academy. Just sitting back, doing nothing at the moment. Nemiga realized the importance of this kind of round. They need to figure out what Moscow 5 Academy actually have coming into this. They probably have a right read in terms of being a low buy, but they just want to confirm that. And in doing so, they can be playing much more passively. Don't want to really give anything away. Moscow 5 Academy now have a chance here. Lavel already down in towards water. Wanting to take a fight, but he's been dropped to 9 HP. Now everybody from Nemiga is just going to go straight into the B-bomb site.
Oh, the Deagles, always dangerous in CIS Counter-Strike. Lavel only grabs the 1, though, and that's the B side open. The rest of the players coming in through short. They're ready for Raider, although he still manages to get a tag off. Considering they're in a 4v4, I wouldn't feel too pressured if I'm Moscow 5 Academy, and they definitely don't. The boost up. Ooh, Deadrock almost had a head, but no victim found just yet.
Yeah, they're going to get out of here. Moscow 5 Academy. They have 1 set of Kevlar on Dursky and 1 on Raider. The rest could potentially just stick around here. It's too valuable for Moscow 5. I mean, saving that Kevlar would certainly save a little bit of extra cash, and you definitely want to carry that through. It's not bad having Deagles around there as well. So we do see another round collected here for Nemiga as we reach the final round. All the players in Nemiga go down to the bomb, but look how much money they have. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh my god, that gives so many AKs away.
That's the problem.
That's huge.
That's the issue,
Yeah.
right? That, okay, they go down, but the fact that those weapons are ripe for the taking, and M5 are sat outside, just waiting, scavenging over. They get a double op setup essentially for free. They've still got money in the bank for the final round. They got coming into it. That's pretty nuts.
That's That's hilarious. Oh no. Oh god. Moscow 5 Academy just like a pack of hyenas going in and picking apart the carcasses. Well, he's got everything to play with now. 2 AK-47s, double up setup, utility in play. Nemiga have gifted them a beautiful buy, and well, it's going to be a good start from Lathel with one of the ops.
The secondary op, the one that Nemiga made it possible for them to have. Although he gets naded down afterwards, that's a man advantage to work with now. Nemiga trying to work their way in towards connector control so they can split in short. You can see the box is still waiting in the sewer to walk on into water. But he's hoping that MDS will be able to gain control and help him split it. I have to wait a moment though before that comes through as MDS falls and now Box by himself just dry peeks into water. No flashes, nothing going over. Luckily not punished for it. And so at least a little bit more map control for them to work with, pincering in towards the connector. But that player's long gone. Who isn't long gone is Luke, who got fully flashed there by Speedag, taken down, and now put back into a 3 versus 4. Slightly more winnable for the T side. They look towards the A side to slowly inch towards it. And disadvantage, they've got to be so careful as they move forward.
Well, 14 seconds now. Raider off towards long, catches out Box. Well, play coming through here from Jay. He's going to tap, and now they're around the corner. Multiple players from M5 trying to get back into the site here. Jay looking for the spray, gets one headshot. It's going to be Lavel that goes down, and Moscow 5 will take the win. They finally get it over the line. It's been a long time coming for them, Mitch, but they finally get it done. And coming into this matchup, I'm very impressed by the Moscow 5 Academy.